Well, seeing it's such a nice day, why not get the push bike out and give everyone a bit more of a tour of Panama. So this morning we ticked off a few places close by the marina, and now we're going to check out a few things a bit further afield. So yeah, relax, sit back and let me do the pedal work. Alright, let's see what we can come across. Oh, up ahead, nearly up ahead, and it's definitely not going to go into the guess what this is competition here on the Lifetime Cruise. As I make my way across the street, we are at not a paved road, of course. There we are, the Panama Canal. The entrance, I think it's the Gaton Gates, don't quote me on that. And over here, those pieces there in the distance, that's the pieces they're going to use to open up a new canal. So there's going to be two, yeah. And interesting enough, they were made in China and they were actually shipped all the way here. So go figure. But anyway, I'm going to go and have a bit of a closer look up at the canal. I can see one tanker, two tankers in their locks at the moment. There are 3 locks on this side of the canal that makes it up into the main lake, and then you sail along the main lake, and then you have another 3 locks on the other side. On this side, the locks are quite close together. On the other side, supposedly, they're a bit further apart. So I'm going to go back onto the highway and then I'll make my way back there. So be back to you shortly. Okay, we've got the red light, which means of course can't go, but that hasn't stopped us in the past. And there's a tanker, and here comes a bus, and these bus drivers, they drive crazy speed, as you can see by their brakes. Don't get the school bus, please. But here we are at the gates, or the locks of the Panama Canal. So that's the first lock. So boats can go up or down, depending on, of course, where they're going. Majority of these tankers go to the United States. The ones with containers are more northbound American vessels. The tankers and the grain ships, they're more orientated towards the southern part, Texas, Alabama, those type of places. If you can see, just directly ahead of us, there's a small white object. They're the electric trains, and the boats actually get pulled along by them. So you put out your mooring lines, there goes a bit of traffic, and they get pulled along by the trains. So there you go, that's one of them. So he's waiting for the water to go out of the lock so that he can then move on and enter the Caribbean Sea. So you can see the fence has got razor wire, there's cameras all around, so you never know. There goes the crazy bus driver. You never know if we might get interviewed by the local establishment, particularly given the fact that we're sitting here making movies on a push bike and nobody else is. Hopefully we can dodge the traffic and we'll get up here. So the second lock doesn't have anybody in it, so don't ask me why, but there we have it. So this is the second lock. So we made it to the top of Lock 3, and that ship that we saw before is now making his way onto the lake. I don't know how far the lake is, but I think it's a pretty big one, and they make their way all the way over to the other side. Yeah. Oh, I'll pull up here somewhat close about, and you don't have to deal with all the up and downs. So here we go. So he's heading off, and so he's hanging off. As you can see, there's a number of tankers all waiting around, and here, I don't know if you can see, they're all the electric engines, all waiting to take people into the canal. So you can see they're all stacked up, ready to go, and yeah, there we go. The locks of the Caribbean side of the Panama Canal. And if you remember from the earlier footage how high the bridge was and the containers were, and now you can see how they're slowly going down. So the process is relatively quick when you think about it. So the ships don't take that long to get through the locks, and you know, he should be out of here, I'd say, maybe in 20-30 minutes, and then he heads off into the big blue yonder. Here we go. Of course, when there's a guard tower and razor wire and all like that, you may as well bring a camera nice and close. So that's kind of like, you can get a road that goes over the top of the lock to get to the other side, but of course when there's a ship in there, you've all got to wait. So these guys are all waiting their turn to go into the canal. But we're going to go the opposite way, so we'll leave them to it and pedal our way to some